So it's become quite clear to me that Bandai straight up doesn't respect the player base. Because after the announcement of regular buffs, they've been dropping buffs that are straight up dog filth. They suck. Garbage buffs. And this is genuinely disappointing. Bandai refuses to nerf Kizaru. Yet for some reason, they shadow nerf whatever unit they drop in the future, right? Like whatever unit they decide to buff. For example, our fan favorite EX Zoro. The EX Zoro we all knew for being a survivability merchant. They nerfed him and gave him garbage in return. Next up is Momonosuke, right? We all know Momonosuke. Momonosuke was garbage on release. Nobody liked that guy. He was basically a hidden step up. So it's very hard to actually nerf Momonosuke, but somehow Bandai pulled this off. They removed his ability to basically nullify status effects when he's off the flag. And while I do agree that most of the other traits were buffed, that one thing kind of slaughtered him, and they buffed him in the wrong meta. They didn't even have the basic human decency to drop the ignore and charge flag trait on Momonosuke. Like, why did y'all not give the basic defender trait in this meta to Momonosuke? Even Rayleigh. Y'all gave it to even Rayleigh. Why not Momonosuke? What do y'all have against Momonosuke? The other thing is Rayleigh, he was decent, right? He was decent to some extent. If you are an expert player at the game, you can use Rayleigh, but he's just not a noob-friendly unit. Now, one might argue that they're just being effective developers, right? They're just not trying to drop two broken units every month to override the meta and to make people who actually spend money upset because some random people out there, free-to-play players out there, have units better than them now. Well, I have a refutation for that. I have a rebuttal for that, right? Bandai has given us good buffs before. Think back to Green Roger. Green Roger was dropping 15 KOs, 15 kills every single match, bro, when he got buffed. Akainu, similar case but less skills. Blue Kaido, elite defender. Yamato, elite runner. Blue Ace? Blue Ace is a bounty fest, bro. He was slaughtering the meta. Even Blue Shanks, bro. Blue Shanks. Blue Shanks. Let me repeat that again if y'all didn't hear me. Blue Shanks, of all units, got a decent buff. Why not Zoro? Blue Shanks was dropping 11 and 12 KOs when he got buffed. I know most of y'all are new to the game, so you won't know what I'm talking about, but he was dropping 10 to 11 KOs every match. And y'all do this to Zoro, bro? How is this fair? Right? None of their traits were taken, by the way. Because in case y'all didn't know, Bandai actually started messing with the unit's traits. They're taking traits under our noses and giving us mediocre stuff in return. Now, why do they straight up drop garbage buffs for our favorite units now and half-ass the buffs? Because this is genuinely painful. This is painful to look at, right? Because look at Zoro and Odin, right? Zoro, we already know how half-ass he was. Odin, they just made him a slightly better Yamato in a Kizaru meta, mind you, while being green element, right? And only give him the ability to ignore and capture when there's 15 seconds left, which can be easily countered by a Kizaru, by the way, and I'm not even joking. And to make it worse, calling Zoro and Odin hidden bounty fest now wouldn't even be wrong, because they're genuinely disrespecting our favorite metas. So based on all of what I just said, they can't use profits or metas as an excuse. It's just invalid in this circumstance. With how buffs are going now, I don't think it's wrong to protest against your favorite units being buffed, bro, because they will definitely be shadow nerfed. Picture this. They buff Blue EX Luffy, give him more attack increases and skill cooldowns, then nerf Bro into the ground by just removing a whole section of his traits. Because that's what Bandai is doing right now, in case y'all didn't realize. They straight up look into a few sections and just yank everything out of that section, bro. Like, how is that funny? You're supposed to be buffing the unit to be useful again, not giving them traits to last one singular meta against one unit. Because EX Zoro currently is just a merchant for killing Saturn. Who needs a Saturn, bro? Saturn gets countered by literally half the meta. Why did y'all need to make Zoro a Saturn merchant? But enough of my ranting, bro. In my personal opinion, the buffs since recently have just been buns. And I would really highly suggest that Bandai starts taking the players more seriously, because it's clear that they're only doing all of this just so they don't get yelled at by the upper ups, the higher ups. And they've just been straight up handing us feces every buff session, and it's not funny. It's just not funny. Now, as usual, I'd like to share a verse with y'all, and today's verse comes from Romans 10:9. If you declare with your mouth Jesus is Lord and believe in your heart that God raised him from the dead, you will be saved. Christ is Lord, man. That's the end of the video, though, so peace.